We went over 5 minutes, 40 seconds. That's fine. Hey guys, it's hour two here. AC Lee from the AC Lee and Parlay Pete podcast. Parlay Pete's taking a piss right now, and I'm just going to sit here and say a bunch of sweet nothings. But we had a great week of football last year. Actually, no, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to recap hour one. We talked about the Falcons hiring of Raheem Morris. We called our brother, who's Parlay Pete's actual brother, and he gave his thoughts on. He gave us a nice 28 minutes on his thoughts on Raheem Morris and the direction of the Falcons, and how, as a Falcons fan, the Falcons season ticket holder, it sits with him. So, we think Raheem's going to be a good coach. We're not terribly excited about it because, again, there are some big fish out there, and we came home with some crappie. Can you get full off of a bunch of crappie? Yeah, but when you're bass fishing, man, give me that largemouth bass. You know what I mean? So for hour two, we're gonna open it up. We're gonna recap the playoff games of last week. Packers losing to the 49ers on that final drive. Kyle Shanahan gets his first win uh, after being down in the fourth quarter. We're gonna talk about the Texans getting slaughtered in the second half by Baltimore. We're gonna talk about the Battle of the Titans, so they say, of Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. And then we're also going to talk about the Lions just stretching it out against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And what the hell were the Buccaneers thinking? You had an opportunity to call a timeout and force them to kick a field goal or punt it deep into your territory. We're going to talk about that because you're going to be shocked, or maybe not, on my response to that. But it was a great week of football. I mean, hell, we got two games this week. Uh, we got Ravens, Chiefs. Battle of the best two black quarterbacks in the league, and then we also have in the NFC we have the Lions versus the 49ers. The 49ers, the team who everyone expected to get there. The Lions, the team that showed up week one, beat the Chiefs on ring night, and you know, we'll get into the picks. We'll get into our predictions. We'll talk a little bit about the NFL awards finalists. Talk some NBA, some Giannis the coach killer, All Star starters, Embiid's big 70-point game, some Team USA, and honestly, that's probably where we'll wrap it. It's not going to be a big culture episode because there's not much culture for us to talk about this week. Nothing insane that just is going to just make us say, "Hey, let's talk." Ah, but then again, we got the new Megan Thee Stallion song "Hiss." Apparently, where she's talking her talk, and so we probably will listen to that song for the first time together live and break that down at the end of the podcast. Want to apologize to you guys for not getting the picks out with the show last week. We got them out late, so if you listen on the podcast feed and didn't check in on Instagram, you did not get our picks. Apologies, man. We just got to rolling and talking and getting sleepy, and it didn't happen. But yeah, man, so it's been a great playoffs. So many different narratives to run with. Hey, does Lamar actually finally figured out in the playoffs? Ooh, CJ Stroud, is this flash in a pan? Or is he the next great young quarterback in the league? Baker Mayfield, a story of redemption. Joe Flacco, from on his couch to throwing touchdowns. What does that mean for Deshaun Watson? Nothing. Uh, Cowboys, disappointment. Die, Eagles, die. We're not calling you this week, Josh Oley. It's okay. Can the Bills finally get over the hump of the Chiefs? Well, no, they can't. Are the Lions for real? Tell me it's real. The feeling that we feel. Tell me that it's real. Are the Lions for real? Just imagine a Baltimore Detroit Super Bowl. It's like the battle of the grimiest cities you can think of. Think about BMF. Think about 8 Mile. Just think about of what Detroit was back in the past and what it is today. Then you take Baltimore, Baltimore, The Wire, all of that stuff they do over there. I don't even know how they talk over there. I just want to say Baltimore. But imagine them grimy cities and those fan bases. And it may not be the best TV product for the NFL. It may not be what they want, but that's the People's Championship. And if y'all want to take a page out of Arthur Blank's playbook and allegedly pander to your African American fan base, Baltimore, Detroit. Or as they say, Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Not Detroit. I don't want to hear nobody say Detroit. Nah, it's Detroit. You get Royce the 5'9" out there. We get to Marshall Mathers, the real Slim Shady. Buffs, Furs, all of that stuff. We get them Baltimore guys out there. I don't know anybody famous from Baltimore, but we got Big Trust out there. We got Ray Lewis. We have Uncle Shay Shay on the sideline. Yeah, I like that. And how great would it be for Lamar to cap the season off as league MVP and Super Bowl MVP? Man, wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be a full redemption story? Wouldn't that be a nice middle finger to Bill Polian? Let's take some time to talk about Lamar. He wins the Heisman his second year. He comes back, puts up identical numbers, doesn't win the Heisman. I get it. It's hard to win back-to-back Heismans, and we haven't seen it since Archie Griffin. And guess what? I haven't seen Archie Griffin. I've seen more Archie Bunker than Archie Griffin. So you have that. Then he and Josh Allen, obviously the two most talented quarterbacks in that class. If you look at pedigree, if you look at production, Lamar Jackson should have went first overall to the Browns. I'm sorry. But he ends up going 32nd overall to the Ravens. Shout out to Ozzie and Eric DeCosta for moving back into the first round to go get him. He's behind Joe Flacco that first season. John Harbaugh is on the fucking lamb. He's on his way out of here. Look here, man. They got his concrete shoes tied to his feet already. He's about to get pushed. You know what I mean? And then Lamar comes in and saves them. I'm about to save you, Mary Jane. Quick to Spider-Man. But yeah, and so Lamar comes in, he does that, doesn't have the best playoffs, comes back the next year, wins MVP, first seed, all of that great stuff, nice jazz, leads the league in touchdown passes, sets the quarterback record for rushing yards, but there are obvious holes in his game, and those holes get exposed in the playoffs, which is fine. Young quarterback doing his very best. Then he finally gets his playoff win. Doesn't play great, but he wins. Then gets put out the next season, injured in the playoffs. Following season, injured, team makes the playoffs, but he's not there. And now you got Lamar Jackson matched up against Patrick Mahomes. If Lamar Jackson can go through, beat Patrick Mahomes, go in and win a Super Bowl, it's a full circle moment. And in his Super Bowl's MVP speech, post game presser, or when he's at Disney World, excuse me, he can say, "Take that for data, Bill Polian." So I just did a little Lamar riff about what it would be like for him to win a Super Bowl. I think Lamar embodies what Baltimore is, grimy, get it out the mud, talented, appeals to niggas. I mean, obviously he's a nigga, but Baltimore, Parlay Pete, think about it. If you were not a Falcons fan, if you lived in like flyover country where nobody invests any real money because nobody cares about those places, right?
Yeah.
As a black man throughout our life, has there been a franchise that has been more consistently appealing to black culture than the Baltimore Ravens?
The Atlanta Falcons.
Consistently.
Oh, well, consistent. That's a key word here. No, for sure. I think so.
I mean, think about it. If you were Josh Hosey and you just pick a team to follow from a city that you don't frequent, you don't have strong ties to.
Yeah, well, you have no ties to in his case, but go ahead.
Wouldn't you just be like, you know what, man? Ray Lewis, Ed Reed,
Michael, well, not Michael Orr, Jonathan Ogden.
J.O., T Sizzle.
Yeah, Sizzle for sure. You know, let me tell you one thing about the Ravens that I've always liked. They always got dogs. Always. They always have had dogs on those teams all the way around.
They feel like the city of Baltimore.
Yes, they embody their city. But you know what? In a weird way, Atlanta embodies it too. In terms of Atlanta, in terms of our teams, all that finesse.
Finessing.
No fucking grit, bro. None.
Yeah, we ain't got a lot of dungeon family out here, man. We
fucking dogs.
We got a lot of SoundCloud rappers, man. We ain't really dungeon family out here. We got about a lot of fake futures. We got a lot of gunners before he got locked up. We got a lot of little babies now. We got a lot of little babies.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's recap last week. Where do you want to start? See a shot, take a shot.
Salute. You know, we could just go in order. I know that you were already speaking about the Ravens. Dominant second half by them. They did what they pretty much have been doing all year. You know, I did not realize this. This was a stat that was brought to my attention over this past week.
2-minute warning.
Oh, the Ravens haven't played a home game this year against a losing team. Every team that they played at home this year had a winning record.
Did you see that the Ravens have had the lead like in every game going into the 2-minute warning?
No.
That's Nick
running back before the 2-minute warning.
It went to overtime. I think that's what Nick Wright said. I think they took a lead into like every game into the 2-minute warning.
Okay.
So they've been dominant all year. And the Chiefs have not been dominant all year.
Okay.
And we're not preview. I'm sorry, we're recapping. Hey, CJ Stroud, happy to be here. Houston Texans fans, be happy for what you did. Rookie head coach did a hell of a job with your first half game plan.
Hell of a job. He deserves a standing O.
Slowick, you kind of shit the bed, but better staff, better personnel. Again, you guys were happy to be there, and these guys were upset that they had to be there. You know what I mean? It's like, man, like why are we playing against you guys? We want the big dogs.
Yeah.
We're trying to go to Vegas, and we ain't there to gamble.
Yeah, tough break.
Booty.
I know we're going to get to him a little bit later. Dominant second half, though, by them. Shout out to Houston for how well they did. And like I said, I know you've been talking about them for a minute here, so we don't even have to go into a deep dive on them. But fantastic season by the Texans. And Baltimore got over that. I'm not even going to say that they haven't gotten that monkey off their shoulder yet, as far as I'm concerned. And the reason why I say that is because, like I texted you, I said, I'm just not convinced yet. I'm not convinced. And I'll get to hint at that on my picks because let me tell you, since we've been doing this show, this has been the hardest conference championship week, honestly, for me to pick games. Like, I'm really second guessing myself, like on a lot of this. I have one super lock, though, that to me just makes no sense why the number is where it is. But all in all, this has been the toughest week of conference championships. And I attribute that to the parity that the NFL brings, because you can have a team that had the number 2 pick in the draft be playing against the team with the best record and being tied at halftime. That is the parity of the NFL. Unlike the NBA, where a 30-13 team can fire their head coach and it falls into the lap of a guy that's been living off one championship his entire coaching career. I'm sure that we will get to that too a little bit later. So we're going to stick to football. But Dominant second half. So we can move on from them. Let's go to the Packers, a team that I was really big on all season. You knew this. I was big on Jordan Love. I really was. This was somebody that I guess I'm not surprised at how well he played down the stretch because I always thought that he was going to be good. I don't know. Just something told me when I had seen him play, um, in the moments that he got to fill in for Aaron Rodgers, not his first start ever against Kansas City on the road, but any other time that he got to play, I was convinced. I liked what I saw, and he's proved it. He's going to get a monster payday. It's a game that they probably should have won if we're going to be honest about it. That was a game that the Packers probably should have won that game. Kicker doesn't miss the kick. All the pressure's on San Francisco. It's not like Jake Moody's this great kicker. He could have missed too. And so you start talking about that changed the dynamic of that game, that missed kick. And Green Bay's definitely going to have a new kicker. They got a new defense coordinator. They're going to have a new kicker. So great game, though. Wasn't surprised that San Francisco came back because that's my Super Bowl pick this year. And I think that they are the best team in the NFL. I do. Top to bottom, 1 to 53, that's the best team in the NFL. They're obviously the most influentially coached team in the league because there's nothing but mimics of that.
Yeah, but that team,
including Green Bay,
got their doors blown off by a team in the AFC. But I think the biggest takeaway from that game, now that it's over, what does Deebo Samuel look like on Sunday? We'll get to that in a preview. Game 1 on Sunday, Baker Mayfield versus Jared Goff, Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Lions. Lions get a second home game. They win. You wanted them to win by more.
Yeah.
But Mike Evans showed his ass.
He did.
And Baker's slinging it. Was it Rashad White was running the piss out of the football?
Yeah.
And Todd Bowles upset some people.
Todd Bowles was being Todd Bowles.
That didn't bother me too much.
It bothered me.
I mean, you can go out there and try.
I took Detroit, so it didn't matter from that perspective. But from the perspective of, wow, Detroit just opened the door for you, making them make the field goal, lose by 11 then. Why wouldn't you have let them kick it? You could have blocked it. They could have missed it. You would have had about 30 seconds on the clock. I don't understand why you don't call the timeout. Why would you wave the white flag when that wasn't necessary at that point?
I don't understand why the hell you don't
kick the extra point. They were down 8.
Yeah. Why don't you kick the extra point?
That too. I mean, that was pretty stupid, but
these analytics are getting these analytics are getting fucking stupid, right? Because
it's not about football anymore.
You see it, it's like, hey, you should go for it. Because the analytics say you have this chance of making it versus this chance of missing the extra point.
Uh-huh.
And then, if you get it and you score another touchdown, you can win the game. Or you see it, especially on ESPN. ESPN Analytics says any 4th and 5 or less, go for it.
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
We haven't moved the ball in 4 drives.
Yeah. Why?
Fuck analytics.
Of the pastor, he's like, why? Why? That's basically you right now.
I just don't understand it. I think analytics are important to use in macro decision making and game planning, but I don't think they drive the best micro decisions.
Yes.
There's a reason why when you take economics, you learn macroeconomics and microeconomics, and then you just don't take economics, because there are certain things that apply to microeconomics that are positive and productive that don't have that same result in the macro side. You know,
Hmm.
when AM when the nerds fucked up the AMC stock, it made sense in the micro to buy the hell out of AMC stock low because you knew it was going to balloon.
Yes.
But it does not make sense in the macro to put your fucking mortgage on AMC. Because when's the last time you've gone to a movie theater?
Uh, to see the last Avengers Endgame, I think that was the last movie I seen in the theaters. Was it that? Hold on. I think that was it. Yeah.
I
Gosh, I
haven't
haven't been to movies
seen.
in a long time.
I haven't been to the movies
Oh wait,
since.
wait, wait! I call bullshit because
Okay,
other stuff came out. Spider Man came out. Black Panther 2 is the last movie I saw in theaters. Yeah, it was a
I
Marvel
don't.
movie, but I knew that much. But Black
I
Panther,
don't. I don't remember the last movie I went to see, but I'm pretty sure it was Labor Day weekend of 2021.
you didn't go see Black Panther 2?
Hell no.
When did that come out? It came out February of 2022, maybe.
It's been a year. It's been over a year.
You didn't go see Black Panther 2? Have you ever seen it?
No,
Really?
I was gonna see it.
What about Black Panther 1?
Yeah, yeah, me, yeah,
I,
me and Josh Holt, we went
I
and
mean,
saw
look,
that one together.
I'm fucking with you on that one. Um,
I heard Black Panther 2 was more of the Latino Panther.
what was Yes, actually, more of a reason why that beautiful home you got sitting behind me, why you guys should have been watching it. But point being, yes, it was kind of Latino. It was blacks and Latinos getting together.
Oh, people of color. Okay, got it.
Yeah, essentially. Well, we're
Thank,
leaving out people. If we say only, yes, yes, we're
thank you,
missing we're
AMC.
missing some other coloreds that weren't a part of that movie.
Are they happy?
Who, those other people, or who?
Are they
Who
singing?
were they singing in the movie?
Give me a high five.
Cut and break. Beautiful guys. Like, nah.
Um, yeah. Then we had the matchup that we were waiting for: Brady versus Peyton, the remix. You know, before we get into this game, I'm really tired of the Brady
I think you mean
versus
2023.
huh?
I think you mean 2023. Because when I hear a remix, you know how like they'll do like I think they did the Welcome to Atlanta, and then it was the Migos. It was Welcome to Atlanta, and Rich Homie is like Welcome to Atlanta, babe. But that
It's
wasn't
the new Atlanta, baby.
Welcome to Atlanta, the remix, because the remix was made when the original came out. But it was like Welcome to Atlanta 20
It's the new Atlanta.
or 15. Yeah. So more so that is what that would have been. I don't like
Wow.
remix.
Okay, fair enough. Semantics, man.
Yes.
Uh,
I just have to, that's not a remix because those guys were Super Bowl champs and MVP.
and that's my problem with it. Josh Allen is not MVP. He's not a Pro Bowler. He's probably not going to be All Pro this year. This year, he's not.
Should have been. Come on.
Well, yeah, but he wasn't. He's not going to be All Pro guy. So,
But there's only 2 of those spots every year. I mean, what can you do?
be Peyton and Brady.
Who was it? It was Dak and because Pat wasn't it either this year. I have to imagine it was
Pro Bowl.
it was Dak and who? Oh, and Lamar.
Bingo. Come on now.
Yeah, so I'm fine with that though. That made sense.
Dang! Shout out to when Thug and Rich Homie could work together. R.I.P. Nut. Um.
Oh, free YSL.
Yeah. Shout out to YFN. Lucci gonna be home in 3 months.
Yeah, but what about free YSL?
Well, they took it to trial, so that's different.
Yeah, but it's not for real.
I mean, sure, Fannie Willis ain't. DJ Academics did a crazy breakdown of Fannie Willis and her.
Her sex life.
Yes.
I didn't know. I was honestly guessing. He really did a breakdown of like her sex life.
So apparently, the one of the special prosecutors that she's used.
Was
Uh,
yeah, I remember seeing that report.
that
It
it
went on
came
vacation and shit.
it came from the Trump camp, but Act put up flight records of them going. He put up, they of him booking. He put up bank records that his wife put out of him and Fannie Willis going to like Miami and shit together.
MIAO, huh? Do you like Miami? I don't think we've ever talked about Miami.
I haven't done Miami.
Really? Like
I've
ever?
been, I've been, but I didn't do. I went down there for a cruise, so I was like in the city of Miami, but I didn't do shit in Miami.
You never went for like a spring break or anything?
No. I was trash. I went to PCB where the whores were.
Wow. Even senior year? Senior year, we did Miami. I mean, I did PCB freshman and sophomore year, but like,
All my friends were younger than me.
that's true too. But like,
But Miami's more of a 21 city.
yeah, you do have to be 21, but that's why we did it senior year. But we all did it as a group freshman year, PCB.
Yeah.
And then sophomore year, me and Julian Turner were the only two that did it. We tag teamed the shit out of PCB sophomore year. I don't remember what happened junior year. I don't think we did shit junior year.
No, you didn't. You and Josh didn't. But Matt came down to PCB for like 36 hours.
Yeah, that's all you
Yeah.
need.
He had a baseball game.
They had a baseball game in PCB.
No, they had a baseball game in the middle of spring break. So Matt came down to PCB for like 36 hours
Oh,
and got us kicked out of a hotel room.
wow.
Uh,
That's very on brand.
he threw up in the bathtub.
It sounds very on brand.
Julian Turner was down there because I remember walking down the strip because I was with Cam.
Oh man,
And
we got Cam sophomore year.
and I got me and Cam got separated.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of like I took a nap on the beach. I'm like, hey dog, I'm drunk, I'm tired. I'm about to take a nap. Go function. And we'll meet back at the car no later than this time.
Yeah.
So I was just walking back to the car. And I hear a nigga just driving down the strip. AC. And I'm like, who the fuck is this? Jew and Acura. You know.
One
Trip.
black cat.
Yeah, Julian Turner out of town.
It used to be two black acts.
Who else had an act?
Me, freshman year, I drove an Acura.
So yeah, I hop in the Acura with Jew. And we function from there, then link up with Boink like the next couple of days. Yeah, so it was.
I've got a funny picture of Boink too. I think that I screenshot. I'm gonna send it to you, but keep telling the story.
So yeah, your junior year we were all down at PCB, and then my senior year, man, I didn't want to do AUC Miami,
Nothing wrong with that.
and then after college I was West Coast for so long, like it never just made it never made sense to go to Miami. And then I got married, and now it's like, what the fuck am I going to Miami for?
We did Miami. It was me, Mr. Turner, because Josh didn't come then either. Mrs. Boykins was with us. We were all in one, like, we had our own little thing.
Shout out to Zoe.
Yeah, shout out to Zobri.
Did Boink go?
No, he wasn't there. It was like Zoe's, like Tanisha was there. Alexa was there, I believe.
Was Oompa Loompa there, her roommate?
It was another chick that was from like Chicago that was friends with Tanisha, if I'm not mistaken. was
Shout
there.
out to all my niggas in the rack.
Yeah. Um, the rack and the stand, baby. It's one hell of a fucking collab when you get them together. But yeah, we had a good time though. We rented like a condo of
Okay.
some sort. Very uncomfortable for me. Um,
Were you able to comfortably fuck?
well, one of the things, and when I look back at college, I think to myself, I'm like, man, I really could have done a lot of things differently. And granted, none of us really had any money then, anyways. But I look back at it and I say to myself, I should have got my own shit. Like,
Yeah, in college you do a lot of things that
it's like, oh, it's
don't.
$1,100. Let's fit 6 people into this 2 bedroom with a couch, and we'll figure it out. Like, don't do that.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you got.
Don't go at that point. Honestly, like,
It's like, hey, you got somewhere to sleep, but do you have somewhere to sleep with somebody who's not in the six?
either that or you're going to have to be bringing them back up with you. Like, there's like a. So that's what we ended up doing. It was more of a, and believe me, I don't know why. Spring break was always the worst time for me with phones and like wallets. My phone broke. I went to the water. I had to walk to a Sprint in Miami and get a new phone. And
Ooh,
because
that's pretty cloud.
and let me tell you, without Uber and shit, I think Uber was not available yet.
It was alive, but it was not
Relevant.
it wasn't popping.
Exactly. It was like the first days of Facebook, but MySpace still existed. And it was one of those situations where I had to use somebody else's phone to get the maps and remember where I was going because nobody walked with me, which that's another red flag now I think about it. I'm like, damn, y'all know my phone's broke. Like, can somebody walk me there and then just because I don't know the address. Like, I had to remember a lot of stuff. But you know what? That's old world living the way that it used to be. Like,
I mean,
that's how
yeah,
we used
bro.
to have to get around. You used to needed to remember stuff. Like, it couldn't be, especially if you don't have a phone. Like, I wrote it down. Like, it was something. But the point is that it it was definitely one of those unique experiences. But point being, good time down there in Miami. I don't even remember how we got to Miami. What were we talking about to get to Miami?
I don't remember, but let's wrap up this game. The Chiefs end up winning. They don't look good, but the Bills aren't that good, and they look like the team that I didn't think would make the playoffs. Uh, Josh Allen. I mean, they didn't have any explosive pass plays over 20 yards.
Yeah.
You can't win that way. Josh Allen. He threw some dimes, and they didn't get caught. Um,
We spoke about this too, and I guess because we're on this game, I'll pose that question now. Is Josh Allen gonna forever be the bridesmaid?
I think he might follow in the footsteps of Jim Kelly, man.
I mean, yeah, but we're not even saying, a divorce. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. And the way that team is constructed, if they keep McDermott, what do you do? Do you? I mean, what can
How
you
do you?
do? What can you do to the roster? You have so one of their issues had always been no run game. Like, that to me was always like the most pressing thing about that team. They can't run the ball.
Their
They can run
defense
the ball
is good.
now. They can run the ball effectively. They ran the ball on them. They ran the ball on the Chiefs very well. Josh Allen threw the ball well. He had a good game. I don't think he played bad.
He didn't play great.
But there's just something missing, man.
Their defense isn't that good.
That team to you.
Their defense isn't that good.
But that was, to me, a part of the reason why they had the streak that they had. The defense had played a lot better. And now
Yeah, but it's still not good.
I don't know if they're going to be able to just get out of the contract with Von Miller, but I don't know if you saw the statistic. He had like 7 tackles this year, and that was it.
Oh yeah, Von Miller. You talk about a heist.
Oh, career is over, potentially.
It should be. He's not good.
Yeah.
So I think the play of the game was the Kansas City only had 10 people on their punt return team. and in their own territory on 4th and 5. Hey, let's get a ball comeback player of the year, DeMar Hamlin. And all the smart football people, former players, said, "Hey, that's a call. It's not it's not a it's not like, hey, let's just get DeMar the ball. It's hey, in this situation, this is what we do."
Why wasn't Ty Johnson then? Because it would have been too obvious. I mean,
Why? Yeah. Why was DeMar Hamlin a good football player last year, and now he's getting, hey, you're that freshman that works really hard in practice every week, so we're gonna throw you on special teams so you can get a letter.
you're a dick.
I mean, look, dog, maybe he should just have set out the whole year.
You're a dick.
He didn't play many significant snaps.
You're a dick. That man came back to life.
He did. And credit to him for battling back to getting able to play fucking NFL football. I mean, shit. Bronny's playing college basketball right now, and he probably shouldn't.
You know, this is why we love the AC Lee and Parlay Pete podcast. Not because it's just, us doing it and we like talking to each other. It's because of takes like this, Lee. When you bring in somebody that battled back and you make a joke about them, right?
I didn't make a joke.
Well,
I was being serious.
Okay, well, you were serious, and many of the viewers, including myself, took it as a joke.
Look here, man.
It was a bad call. Let's just call that what it is. It was a bad call. Now, was there some symbolism in them giving him the ball? I believe so too. I think that was very much so on purpose. Because why? Was that supposed to be the unexpected play call? In a sense of, there's no way they'd fake a punt and give it to DeMar Hamlin.
Not to the Chiefs.
He took a fucking play call out of Arthur Smith's book. Let's do something that nobody should expect, but everybody knows is going to happen.
Hey, let's go to the dumbest play on the play sheet. And it's so stupid, they won't think we're running it. And if we get a first down,
I'm a genius.
Symbolism.
And you're a genius if you get it.
Get this guy a Purple Heart, man. He's a soldier.
Yeah. Terrible play call. It was reminiscent of when Kirby Smart gave the ball to Justin Fields in the SEC championship game. And I was at that game, and I just couldn't fucking believe it. But as I was watching it here, I couldn't fucking believe it. Like, it was like the same type of play call, except I'll tell you this much. Georgia's was kind of worse, not in an execution standpoint, but in an obviousness standpoint. Georgia's was like so obvious because Justin Fields was never in on.
The dual threat quarterback is in on punt. He's getting the ball.
And he doesn't throw it either. So even if they're going to fake it, he's probably going to run it. Now, we had less yards to get. I think it was only 2, maybe 2.5, 3 yards. That was a 4th and 5, but both were similar. They were about at the 30, 35-yard line. And you just ask yourself, what the fuck is Coach thinking right now? What the fuck is he thinking?
I don't know, man.
Maybe he knew it was over.
He knew the season was crashing down.
No more points got scored in that game, by the way. And because of what resulted in the Chiefs' drive following the turnover on downs, it brought up a question that you're very highly in favor of. And who knows, maybe Rich moves the needle to get it changed with the competition committee about touchbacks in the end zone. Fumbles into the end zone turning into touchbacks.
I don't like that rule. I think it's a trash rule.
Well, a lot of people got up. It was a lot of uproar about it. And there's a chance that they do change it. That was like one of the first things that got talked about how that might be one of the new rules that we end up having changed at the winter meetings.
I think it should be changed to the ball goes back to where the player lost possession, just like a fumble out of bounds anywhere else on the field. I just think that rule is far too punitive in a situ. It would be different if there was consistency, like, hey, fumble goes out of bounds, opposing team gets the ball.
Yeah.
All right. It's only that here. That's dumb. Dead ass.